I'm sitting in my daughter's room at 2 in the morning holding DNA results that prove my wife's baby isn't mine. But here's the problem. It's not his either. Let me back up. 3 days ago, Amanda came into the kitchen at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was loading the dishwasher. She was wearing that gray cardigan I bought her for Christmas 2 years ago, the one she always pulls on when she's nervous. Her hands were shaking. "Brandon, we need to talk." I turned off the water, dried my hands. The kitchen was quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and Emma's white noise machine upstairs. Our daughter was 6 years old and asleep, dreaming whatever 6-year-olds dream about, probably unicorns or her best friend Sophie. "Okay," I said, "what's going on?" Amanda looked at the floor, at the ceiling, anywhere but at me. "I'm pregnant." I felt something shift in my chest. We'd been trying for a second child for months. This should have been good news. Should have been champagne and tears and calling our parents. But her face told me everything I needed to know before she said the next part. "But I'm not sure if it's yours." The wedding photo on the mantle caught my eye. 8 years ago, we'd meant those vows, sickness and health, better or worse. 8 years, and now this. I looked at my wife, really looked at her, and saw a stranger wearing Amanda's face. "I see," I said. She started crying. "I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. It only happened a few times. I don't even know how—" "Stop." My voice came out calm, too calm, like I was talking to a client about a software bug instead of my wife, about infidelity. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me everything, and then we're going to get a DNA test, or I file for divorce tomorrow morning." She expected tears, shouting, maybe me throwing something or storming out. I'd had 6 weeks to prepare for this conversation. She just didn't know that yet. Amanda wiped her face. "You want a DNA test?" "I want the truth." I pulled out my phone and opened Amazon, typed "Paternity Test Kit Overnight Shipping." Found one with 20,000 reviews, added to cart. But since you can't seem to provide that, science will. "Brandon, please." "Who is he?" Silence, then quietly, "Tyler. Tyler Wilson, my best friend Rachel's husband, the guy who helped me install our deck last summer, who came to Emma's birthday parties, who I'd known for 7 years ever since Rachel and I reconnected after college." "Tyler Wilson," I repeated. Let the name sit there between us like a body. "It just happened. I don't know how to explain." "Don't." I clicked confirm order. Overnight shipping. The test would arrive tomorrow afternoon. "Go to bed, Amanda. We'll talk when we have facts instead of excuses." She stood there for another minute crying, probably hoping I'd soften. I didn't. I finished loading the dishwasher, wiped down the counters, and went to sleep in the guest room. That was 3 days ago. But here's what Amanda doesn't know. I've been investigating her for 6 weeks. It started small. She'd been staying late at work. She's an HR manager at a marketing firm downtown. Late nights turned into weekend emergencies. Her phone was always face down. She started showering as soon as she got home instead of after dinner like she used to. Little things that individually meant nothing but together formed a pattern. I told myself I was paranoid. That 15 years together, 8 married meant something. That people don't just throw away a family over nothing. Then I found the receipt. March 23rd, Riverside Inn, $178 charged to a credit card I didn't recognize. It was tucked in her purse when I was looking for her car keys. She said she'd been visiting her sister that weekend. Her sister lives 40 minutes north. Riverside Inn is on the opposite side of the city. I hired a private investigator named Frank Martinez. Former cop, came recommended by a guy at work who'd gone through a divorce. I gave Frank 6 weeks and a $5,000 retainer. He earned every penny. Frank called me 2 weeks ago, said he had good news and bad news. I met him at a coffee shop on the north side where nobody we knew would see us. He slid a manila folder across the table. It was thicker than I'd expected. "Bad news first," Frank said. Your wife is having an affair. I opened the folder. Photos. Time-stamped, date-stamped. Amanda and Tyler Wilson at the Riverside Inn. Amanda and Tyler at Lakeview Hotel. Amanda and Tyler getting into his truck outside her office. And the good news? I asked. Frank leaned back in his chair. I don't think he knows he's not the only one. I looked up from the photos. What? Your wife used 4 different credit cards over the last 7 months. Only 1 belongs to Wilson. The other 3, I'm still tracing them. But I can tell you she's been to 3 different hotels. Different days, different patterns. He tapped the folder. That's not one affair, Mr. Davis. That's a lifestyle. I stared at the photos. Tyler's hand on Amanda's lower back. Tyler opening a hotel room door. Amanda laughing at something he said. They looked happy. They looked like a couple. How long? I asked. With Wilson? At least 4 months that I can confirm. The other cards go back further, maybe 8-9 months total. Not 1 affair, not 2. At least 3 men, maybe more. I closed the folder, paid Frank for another 2 weeks of surveillance, went home and kissed my daughter goodnight and slept next to my wife like everything was normal. Because I needed time. Time to think, time to plan, time to make sure that when everything exploded, Emma would be protected. If you've ever had that moment where you just knew something was wrong, even without proof, then you understand. Your gut knows before your brain catches up. Mine had been screaming for months. The DNA test kit arrives via Amazon Prime at 3:15 p.m. the next day. Overnight shipping like promised. The box is small, white, clinical. Inside 2 swab kits, prepaid return envelope, instructions. Amanda's at work. Emma's at school. I have the house to myself and this small box that will end my marriage. I read the instructions 3 times, simple enough. 2 cheek swabs per person, seal in provided tubes, mail back, results in 3 to 5 business days, or 72 hours for expedited processing. I pay the extra $120 for expedited. When Amanda gets home at 6:30, I'm making dinner, spaghetti, Emma's favorite. Amanda sets her purse on the counter and hovers near the doorway, like she's not sure she's allowed in her own kitchen. The test came, I say. Don't look up from the sauce I'm stirring. Oh, we'll do it after Emma goes to bed. Okay. We eat dinner like a normal family. Emma talks about her day at school, about how her friend Sophie got in trouble for passing notes during math. Amanda and I smile and nod and ask follow-up questions. We're both good at pretending. We've been doing it for months now, her pretending she's faithful, me pretending I don't know she's not. After dinner, Emma wants to play Candyland. We sit on the living room floor, and my daughter moves her gingerbread man along the rainbow path, and I think about how I'm about to blow up her entire world. She has no idea. She's 6. Her biggest worry is whether she'll land on the ice cream float space. Daddy, you're not paying attention, Emma says. Sorry, sweetie. I draw a card, purple square, move my piece. Amanda watches from the couch. She's not playing, says she has a headache. I wonder if Tyler knows about the pregnancy yet. I wonder if he thinks it's his. I wonder how many other men she's been with. Frank said at least 3, maybe more. The game ends. Emma wins. She always wins. Amanda and I have been letting her win since she was 4 because her face lights up like Christmas morning when she gets to the candy castle first. Time for bed, Em, I say. Can Mommy read to me tonight? Amanda's eyes meet mine. There's something desperate in them, like she knows she's losing her daughter too and wants to hold on a little longer. Sure, baby, Amanda says. Go pick out a book. Emma runs upstairs. Amanda stands slowly, like she's going to an execution instead of a bedtime story. In a way, I guess she is. 30 minutes later, Emma's asleep. Amanda comes back downstairs. I'm waiting at the kitchen table with the DNA test kit laid out like surgical instruments. Let's get this over with, I say. The swabs are easier than I expected. Amanda goes first, opens her mouth. I swab the inside of her cheek twice, seal the samples in the tube marked mother, then me. Seal mine in the tube marked alleged father. Alleged, Amanda whispers, staring at the label. That's the technical term. I say, don't read into it. But we both know what it means. Alleged, not confirmed, not guaranteed, not certain. I seal the envelope, put it in my bag to mail first thing tomorrow morning. Amanda's still standing there. Brandon, if it's yours, will you forgive me? I look at her, really look at her. The woman I fell in love with in college, who laughed at my terrible jokes and cried at every romantic movie and wanted 3 kids and a dog and a house with a white picket fence, who gave me Emma, who promised me forever. We'll know in 72 hours, I say, but Amanda, there's something you need to understand. I pause, let her lean in. I already know about Tyler. Her face goes white. What? I've known for 6 weeks. I hired a private investigator. I have photos, dates, times, hotel receipts, text messages he sent you on that phone you think I don't know about. I stand up. So if you're going to lie to me, at least do me the courtesy of being good at it. She sits down hard in the kitchen chair. Brandon, go to bed, Amanda. I'm sleeping in the guest room until we get the results. I walk away. Don't look back. Behind me, I hear her crying. It sounds genuine. It probably is. Amanda's good at crying. She's had a lot of practice lately. I go upstairs, check on Emma one more time. She's sleeping with her favorite stuffed bunny tucked under her chin. 6 years old, innocent, perfect, about to learn that families break. I close her door softly and go to the guest room and lie awake until 4 a.m., thinking about what comes next. The next morning, I mail the DNA test at the post office on my way to work. Expedited processing, 72 hours. But Frank calls me at lunch with something new. I've got the credit card information, he says, no preamble. Frank's not big on small talk. And 3 hotels, 7 months, 4 different credit cards, and only one belongs to Tyler Wilson. I'm in my car in the office parking lot. I close my eyes. Tell me. Riverside Inn, Tuesdays mostly. Card ending in 4732. That's Wilson's Visa. Lakeview Hotel, Friday afternoons every other week. Card ending in 8891. Registered to an Andrew Chen. I'm still tracking him down. The Marriott, only once, back in July. Card ending in 2245. He pauses. That one's interesting. Why? Because it's registered to Kevin Wilson, Tyler's younger brother. I sit there in my car with the engine off and the phone pressed to my ear, and I feel something crack inside my chest. Not heartbreak. I'm past that. This is something colder, cleaner. Both brothers, I say. Both brothers, Frank confirms. And there's a 4th card I'm still tracing. Used at a budget inn near the airport. That one's newer, only goes back about 6 weeks. 3 hotels, 7 months, 4 different credit cards, Tyler, his brother Kevin, Andrew Chen, whoever that is, and a 4th man. Not 1 affair, not 2, at least 4 men, maybe more. Keep digging, I tell Frank. I need everything, names, photos, timeline. I need to know every single person she's been with. You sure you want to know? Frank asks. There's something almost gentle in his voice. Sometimes it's easier not to... I want to know, I say. I need to know exactly how big the lie is. Frank says he'll call when he has more. I hang up and sit in my car for 20 minutes before I can go back inside and pretend to care about code reviews and sprint planning. That night, Amanda tries to talk to me. I tell her we're waiting for the DNA results. She says we should go to counseling. I ask her if Tyler's going to counseling too. She goes quiet. 72 hours becomes 60, then 48. I work. I take care of Emma. I avoid my wife. I wait. And I think about Rachel. Thursday morning, I meet Rachel Wilson at the coffee shop where we've been meeting every Thursday for the last 3 years. It started as a way to stay connected after college. She was my study partner, my closest friend for 4 years, the person who talked me through my parents' divorce and helped me pass organic chemistry. Then we graduated, lost touch for a few years, reconnected when I moved back to town, found out she'd married Tyler Wilson, had 2 kids, seemed happy. Now I have to tell her that her husband is sleeping with my wife. She's already there when I arrive, sitting at our usual table by the window. 2 coffees waiting, she always orders for both of us. Black coffee for her, vanilla latte for me. She's smiling when I walk up, and it makes everything worse. "You look terrible," she says. "Rough night?" I sit down, pick up the coffee. It's still hot. Something like that. Rachel's wearing a teacher's outfit, khaki pants, floral blouse, cardigan. She teaches 2nd grade at Emma's school, which is how we reconnected 3 years ago. Emma was in her class. We started talking at parent-teacher conferences, remembered how close we used to be, started meeting for coffee. "So Tyler said something weird last night," Rachel says, stirring sugar into her coffee. "He came home really late, said he was at a job site, but he smelled like perfume. Not my perfume, just perfume." My stomach drops. "Wait, what did you say?" I asked him about it. He said one of the clients is a woman who wears too much perfume, and she'd been showing him around the property. She shrugs. "Could be true. Tyler works with a lot of clients." I set down my coffee. "Rachel." Something in my voice makes her look up. "What?" "There's something I need to tell you, and it's going to hurt. And I'm sorry, but you need to know." Her face changes. The smile disappears. "Brandon, you're scaring me." "Amanda's having an affair," I say. Can't ease into it, can't soften it, just have to say it. "With Tyler." Rachel stares at me, doesn't blink, doesn't move, just stares. "I hired a private investigator," I continue. "I have photos, timestamps. They've been meeting at hotels for at least 4 months. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Rach." She's still staring. Then, slowly, she picks up her coffee, takes a sip, sets it down. Her hands are shaking. "Show me," she says. I pull out my phone, open the folder Frank sent me, hand it to Rachel, watch her scroll through photos of her husband with my wife, hotel parking lots, hotel room doors, Tyler's truck outside Amanda's office. Rachel stops on one photo. It's dated 3 weeks ago. Tyler and Amanda in the front seat of his truck, kissing. You can see the construction company logo on the side of the door. "He told me he was working late that night," Rachel says. Her voice is flat, empty. "Said they were pouring a foundation and needed to finish before the rain came. I made him dinner and kept it warm. He came home at 11 p.m. and said he was exhausted and went straight to bed." "Rachel, how long have you known?" 6 weeks. "And you waited 6 weeks to tell me?" Now there's anger in her voice. She looks up from the phone. 6 weeks, Brandon, while we were, Jesus, we just had dinner at your house last month. Tyler and Amanda and you and me sitting around your table eating lasagna, and you knew?" "I needed proof," I say. "I needed to be sure. And I needed time to figure out how to tell you without... Without what? Without destroying my life? Too late." She stands up, grabs her purse. "I have to go." "Rachel, wait." "I have to go." She's crying now, not loud crying, quiet crying, the kind that's somehow worse. "I have 2 kids, Brandon. Sophie's 7 and Noah's 4, and I need to... She leaves, walks out of the coffee shop with my phone still in her hand. I don't stop her. She needs the photos. She needs the proof. She needs something to hold on to when Tyler tries to deny it. I sit there alone with 2 coffees and no best friend and wait for my phone to buzz with the DNA results that will confirm what I already know. The wedding photo is still on the mantle at home. Amanda asked me last night if I was going to take it down. I said we'd see what the DNA test says, but the truth is, it doesn't matter what the test says. The marriage is already over. Has been over. Maybe it's been over since last July when Amanda first checked into the Marriott with Kevin Wilson. Or maybe it ended before that and I just didn't know it yet. Rachel texted me 20 minutes after she left the coffee shop. Just 2 words. I knew. Then 5 minutes later, God help me, Brandon. Part of me already knew. And 10 minutes after that, we don't leave. That's what we always said. So what do we do now? We don't leave. It was our pact in college. When things got hard, exams, breakups, family drama, we'd say it to each other. We don't leave. We show up. We stay. I text back. We figure it out together. She doesn't respond. I don't expect her to. She's probably sitting in her car in the school parking lot, crying, trying to figure out how to go teach 7-year-olds about addition and subtraction when her own life just stopped making sense. I finish both coffees and drive to work and wait. 72 hours becomes 24, and then 12, and then the email arrives. Subject, urgent, paternity, test results available. I'm in the guest room when I see it. 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, can't sleep. Keep thinking about Rachel's text. Part of me already knew. Keep thinking about Amanda downstairs in our bed. Keep thinking about Emma asleep down the hall, 6 years old, dreaming about unicorns and not knowing her family is about to implode. I open the email, click the secure link, enter the password they assign me. The PDF loads. Paternity test results. Alleged father Brandon Michael Davis. Mother Amanda Lynn Davis. Tested party fetus. Prenatal sample via mother. Conclusion, Brandon Davis is excluded as the biological father of the tested fetus. Probability of paternity 0.0%. I read it 3 times. Each time I think I'll feel something different. Relief that I was right. Anger at the confirmation. Grief for what I've lost. I just feel cold. 0.0%. Blood doesn't lie. That's what Frank said when he gave me the folder. Numbers don't have agendas. DNA doesn't make mistakes. Blood doesn't lie. I stare at those numbers for 10 minutes. 0.0%. I screenshot the results, email them to my lawyer. Linda Harris, family law attorney, came recommended by the same guy who recommended Frank. Then I do something I probably shouldn't do. I make a call that will destroy everything. Tyler Wilson answers on the 3rd ring. His voice is rough with sleep. Brandon, what the hell, man? It's 2 a.m. We need to talk, I say. It's about Amanda. There's a long silence on Tyler's end of the line. I can hear him breathing, hear sheets rustling, probably sitting up in bed. Rachel's probably right there next to him, asleep, trusting him. What about Amanda? Tyler finally says. His voice has changed, cautious now. She's pregnant, I say. Came to me 3 days ago and said she wasn't sure if the baby was mine, so I had a DNA test done. I pause. Let it hang there. Got the results an hour ago. Want to guess what they say? More silence. Then, Brandon, listen. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. That's what the lab report says. 0.0%. I'm speaking slowly now, clearly, like I'm reading from a legal document because I am. Which means the baby isn't mine, which means it's someone else's. And Amanda said that someone else is you. Jesus Christ, Tyler mutters. So here's what's going to happen, I continue. You're going to get a DNA test too, because if that baby is yours, we're going to have a conversation about what happens next. Child support, custody, how we explain this to our kids, all of it. Does Rachel know? Tyler asks. I told her yesterday. Showed her the photos from the private investigator I hired. Hotels, dates, times, your truck, her car, all of it. I lean back against the headboard. So, yeah, Tyler, Rachel knows. You son of a... I'll have a test kit sent to your house. Should arrive Monday. Or you can buy one yourself. I don't care which. But you're taking that test, Tyler, because I need to know exactly whose problem this is. I hang up before he can respond. Then I make another call, this one to Frank Martinez. He answers on the first ring. Mr. Davis, saw your email. You got the results. I need you to find out everything about Kevin Wilson, I say. Tyler's brother, where he works, where he lives, everything. And I need you to track down Andrew Chen, the third name on the credit cards. Already on it, Frank says. Kevin Wilson works at his brother's construction company, general contractor, 31 years old, never married, lives in an apartment complex on Riverside. As for Chen, still working on him, but I've got something else you should know about. What? Your wife's phone records, the hidden device. Papers shuffling on his end. She's been using a secondary phone for the last 8 months, separate number. I pulled the records. It's mostly texts and calls to Tyler Wilson, but there are messages to other numbers too, including one that matches Kevin Wilson's cell, and there are deleted messages, a lot of them. Can you recover them? I know a guy, former FBI forensics. He can pull deleted data from just about anything, cost you another $2,000. Do it, I say. I want everything, every message, every photo, every call log. I want to know exactly how deep this goes. You sure about this? Frank asks. Same thing he asked before. Once you know, you can't unknow it. Blood doesn't lie, and neither do phone records. I'm sure, I say. The phone, Amanda's secret phone, is in her car. I find it Sunday morning while she's taking Emma to her friend Sophie's house for a play date. It's in the trunk, hidden inside her gym bag under a towel and a pair of running shoes she hasn't worn in months. Cheap Android burner, hot pink case, cracked screen. The phone is warm when I pick it up, like it's been used recently, like she's been texting someone even as I searched for it. I power it on. No password. Amanda's always been bad with passwords. The screen lights up and immediately starts buzzing. Notifications flooding in, messages from 8 months ago backed up in the cloud, all downloading at once. I scroll through the message threads. Tyler's name at the top. Below that, Kevin. Below that, a number with no name attached. Below that, another unknown number. The messages go back 8 months. July 15th, Tyler. Can't stop thinking about yesterday, July 15th, Amanda. Me either. When can I see you again? July 16th, Tyler. Friday? Same place? July 16th, Amanda. Perfect. I keep scrolling. August 3rd, Kevin. Does Tyler know? August 3rd, Amanda. Of course not. He thinks he's the only one. August 3rd, Kevin. What about your husband? August 3rd, Amanda. Brandon doesn't suspect anything. I'm careful. My hands are shaking. I sit down on the edge of the trunk, phone in hand, reading messages from my wife to 2 brothers who both think they're the only one. September 10th, unknown number, miss you. September 10th, Amanda, miss you too. Next week, September 10th, unknown. Number, can't wait. I screenshot everything, every conversation, every date, every message, send them to my laptop, to Frank, to my lawyer, build the evidence file. Then I find the deleted messages. There are thousands of them. Frank's forensics guy is good. He pulled everything. Messages Amanda thought she'd erased. Photos she thought were gone. Call logs showing 3 a.m. conversations that lasted an hour. And there, buried in the deleted files, I find something that makes my stomach turn. July 20th, Kevin, got tested. You should too. July 20th, Amanda, for what? July 20th, Kevin, STD panel, just to be safe. July 21st, Amanda, you're being paranoid. July 25th, Kevin, results came back. Need to talk. The conversation ends there. No follow-up, nothing. But 3 days later, there's a message to a clinic. July 28th, Amanda to Planned Parenthood. Need to schedule STD testing, and a week after that, a message to Tyler. August 4th, Amanda to Tyler. Everything's fine. Tested clean. All good. I sit there in the garage with the trunk open and the phone in my hand, and I think about the fact that my wife exposed me to God knows what from God knows how many men, and I feel something break that I didn't know could still break. How do you even process something like this? 2 brothers, same time frame, and a third person, maybe fourth, who she's lying to all of them about. Each one thinking he's special. Each one thinking he's the only one. If you've ever discovered something about someone you love that completely rewrites who you thought they were, you understand this moment where the person you married becomes a stranger. I copy everything to a flash drive, put the phone back exactly where I found it, close the trunk, go inside and wash my hands 3 times. Monday morning, I take a personal day from work. Tell my boss I have a family emergency. It's not a lie. Frank and his forensics contact meet me at a Starbucks an hour outside the city. The forensics guy calls himself Dom, doesn't give a last name, brings a laptop and a printed report 3 inches thick. Your wife's phone, Dom says, sliding the report across the table, is a masterclass in deception. She's got separate message threads for at least 4 different men. Tyler Wilson, Kevin Wilson, and Andrew Chen, sales manager at a car dealership downtown, and a 4th number I traced to a burner phone. That one's only been active for the last 6 weeks. No name attached, but based on message content, it's someone she met recently. Show me the timeline, I say. Dom opens his laptop, pulls up a spreadsheet, color-coded, dates running down the left side, names across the top. Tyler Wilson, messages start in May of last year. Active through present day, primarily meets on Tuesdays and Fridays. He points to blue highlighted cells. Kevin Wilson, messages start in July. Active through October, then sporadic after that, primarily meets on weekends. Red cells. Andrew Chen, messages start in March of this year, very active through August, tapers off in September, primarily weekday lunches. Green cells. I stare at the spreadsheet, overlapping affairs, scheduled like appointments. And the 4th one? I ask. Messages start 6 weeks ago, October 15th, meets sporadically. Messages are different, more emotional, less logistical. Dom scrolls through sample messages. This one might actually mean something to her. The others read like transactions. This one reads like a relationship. Great. My wife's having a meaningful affair to go with her meaningless ones. What about the pregnancy? I ask. Dom pulls up another document. Based on the ultrasound you provided, conception window is July 15th through 22nd. Tyler Wilson was out of town that week. I pulled his credit card records. He was in Denver for a construction job. Kevin Wilson was at a family wedding in Michigan. I confirmed with social media posts. Andrew Chen was on vacation with his actual wife in Florida. Confirmed with his Facebook. Then who... The 4th number, Dom says. The timing matches. Whoever that burner phone belongs to, he was in town that week, and based on message frequency, they were together at least 3 times during the conception window. I lean back in my chair, process this. Not Tyler's baby, not Kevin's baby, not even Andrew Chen's baby. A 4th man. Someone so secretive Amanda won't even save his name in her phone. Can you trace the number? I ask. I tried, Dom says. Burner phone, paid in cash, probably bought at a gas station or convenience store. No way to trace it back to a person without a subpoena. And even then, if he paid cash and didn't register it, we're stuck. Frank's been quiet this whole time. Now he speaks up. Mr. Davis, I've been doing this work for 15 years. I've seen a lot of affairs, a lot of deception, but this, he gestures to the laptop, this is pathological. Your wife isn't just having affairs. She's maintaining separate relationships with multiple partners simultaneously, lying to all of them, managing schedules, creating entire false narratives. This isn't opportunistic cheating. This is systematic. What are you saying? I'm saying your wife might need psychological evaluation as part of the divorce proceedings, Frank says, because this level of deception, maintaining 4 separate affairs, keeping them compartmentalized, never mixing them up, that takes planning. That takes intention. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. I think about Amanda crying in the kitchen 3 days ago. It just happened. I don't know how to explain. Nothing about this just happened. That afternoon, I drive to Rachel's house. I haven't heard from her since Thursday morning at the coffee shop. She's been calling in sick to work. I checked with the school. Emma asked why Miss Wilson wasn't there. I told her Miss Wilson was under the weather. Rachel's car is in the driveway when I pull up. So is Tyler's truck. I almost turn around. But then the front door opens and Rachel walks out. She's wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweatshirt, and her hair is in a messy bun. She looks exhausted. "Brandon," she says, doesn't smile. "I saw your car." "I wanted to check on you," I say. "You haven't answered my texts." "I know, I'm sorry. It's been..." She trails off, looks back at the house. "Tyler and I have been talking. A lot of talking." And he admitted it. All of it. Said it started in May. Said it meant nothing. Said he was going to end it, but then Amanda told him she was pregnant and he thought... Her voice cracks. He thought it was his. He was actually excited, Brandon. He came home and told me he wanted to be more present, more involved with Sophie and Noah. Turns out he was just preparing to be involved with Amanda's baby. I don't know what to say to that. Rachel wipes her eyes. I filed for separation this morning. Tyler's moving out this week, staying with his parents while we figure out custody and the divorce. Rachel, I'm so... Don't, she says. Don't apologize. You didn't do this. They did. She crosses her arms, looks at me, really looks at me. I need to tell you something, and you're going to be angry. What? She reaches into her sweatshirt pocket, pulls out a small notebook, purple cover, worn edges. I've been keeping a journal, Rachel says. Started it in March, just little things, observations, suspicions. She opens the notebook, flips to a page. March 14th, Tyler came home at 11 p.m., smelling like perfume I don't own. Said he was at a job site. Job sites don't wear Chanel No. 5. She turns the page. June 3rd. Tyler said he was meeting you for drinks. You texted me at 10:45 asking if Tyler made it home yet. He didn't come home until midnight. Said you guys lost track of time. But you wouldn't have texted me if he was with you. Another page. July 9th. Found a receipt in Tyler's truck from Riverside Inn. When I asked him about it, he said it was for a client meeting. Since when do clients meet at hotels? Rachel closes the journal, hands it to me. I have 6 months of entries like that. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't want to believe it was this. I flip through the pages. Dates, times, observations. Rachel building a case the same way I was building a case. Both of us collecting evidence of our spouse's betrayals. Both of us too scared to act on it. Why didn't you tell me? I ask. Why didn't you tell me? Rachel counters. You hired a private investigator 6 weeks ago and waited until Thursday to say anything. She's right. I wanted proof before I destroyed her life. She wanted proof before she destroyed mine. We're quite a pair, I say. Rachel almost smiles. Almost. Yeah, we are. She takes the journal back. Tyler wants to take a DNA test to see if the baby is his. I told him I hope it is. I hope he gets to pay child support for a baby that destroyed our marriage. I hope every month for the next 18 years he has to write a check and remember what he threw away. There's something sharp in her voice, something I've never heard before. Rachel's always been gentle, kind, patient. Now she sounds like broken glass. For what it's worth, I say, the baby isn't Tyler's. Rachel's head snaps up. What? I made him take a test. Got the results this morning. 0% probability. The baby isn't Tyler's, isn't mine, isn't anyone's she's willing to admit to. Rachel stares at me. Then she starts laughing, not happy laughing. The kind of laughing that happens when something is so absurd, your brain doesn't know what else to do. Oh my God, she says between laughs. Oh my God, Brandon, she doesn't even know whose baby it is. She doesn't... The laughter turns into crying, sudden and hard. Rachel doubles over, hands on her knees, crying so hard she can't breathe. I move forward, put my hand on her shoulder. Rach, We were best friends, Rachel sobs. In college, you and me, we don't leave. That's what we always said. We show up, we stay, and then we both married people who left the moment it was convenient. She looks up at me. Her face is red and wet and furious. What do we do now, Brandon? How do we fix this? I don't know, I say honestly, but we figure it out together, like we always did. Promise? Promise. Rachel wipes her face, straightens up. Tyler's coming out in a minute to get some boxes from the garage. You should probably go. Call me if you need anything, I say. Anytime, I mean it. I know. She gives me a small, broken smile. We don't leave, right? We don't leave, I confirm. I get in my car and drive away. In my rearview mirror, I see Tyler come out of the house. See him and Rachel standing in the driveway, not touching, 6 feet apart. Two people who used to be married, figuring out how to be strangers. That night, Amanda tries to talk to me. I'm in the guest room, reviewing legal documents. Custody agreements, asset division, child support calculations. She knocks on the door, opens it without waiting for an answer. Brandon, we need to talk about this, she says. We're waiting for Tyler's DNA results, I reply. Don't look up from the paperwork. Forget the DNA results. Can we try to work through this? Go to counseling or something? Now I look up. Work through what exactly? Work through the fact that you've been sleeping with multiple men for 8 months? Work through the fact that you're carrying a baby you can't even identify the father of? Work through the fact that you exposed me to God knows what diseases from God knows how many partners? Amanda's face goes pale. I got tested. I'm clean. I would never. You did. I stand up. I saw the messages, Amanda. The ones where Kevin told you to get tested. The ones where you called him paranoid. The ones where you finally went to the clinic and got tested and told everyone you were clean. But here's the thing. You only got tested in July. Who knows what you picked up before that? Who knows what you brought home to me? I'm getting tested tomorrow, I say. Full STD panel. And if anything comes back positive, that's going in the divorce filing too. Reckless endangerment of a spouse. Did you know that's grounds for enhanced alimony in this state? Amanda starts crying. The same crying from Thursday night. Probably genuine, probably calculated. I made a mistake, she says. People make mistakes. We've been together for 15 years. Don't. My voice comes out cold, flat. Don't turn 8 months of systematic deception into a mistake. Leaving the milk out is a mistake. Forgetting an anniversary is a mistake. Maintaining simultaneous relationships with 4 different men while pregnant with a baby you can't identify the father of, that's not a mistake. That's a choice. Multiple choices, hundreds of choices. Every hotel room, every lie. Every time you came home and kissed me and pretended everything was fine, those were all choices. Brandon, please. I talked to a lawyer, I continue. Linda Harris, family law. She reviewed everything, the photos, the messages, the hotel receipts, the timeline. She said in 20 years of family law, she's never seen a custody case this clear-cut. She said you won't get weekends. You'll be lucky to get supervised visits once a month. Amanda's crying harder now. You can't take Emma from me. She's my daughter. She's our daughter. And unlike you, I actually think about what's best for her. I pick up one of the documents from the bed. This is a transcript of a conversation you had with Tyler on August 15th. You told him you hated being a mother, that Emma was exhausting, that you wished you could just run away and start over. I was venting. You told Tyler you resented having a kid so young, that if you could do it over, you wouldn't have gotten pregnant at 25. I set down the paper, pick up another one. This is from September 3rd. You told Kevin that Emma's bedtime was at 8 p.m. so you could sneak out and meet him at 9. You told him you gave Emma Benadryl to make sure she'd sleep through the night. Amanda's face goes white. I never I have the pharmacy records, Amanda. 3 bottles of children's Benadryl purchased in the last 6 months. Emma doesn't have allergies. She doesn't need Benadryl. You were drugging our daughter so you could sneak out and cheat. The room is silent except for Amanda's crying. Get out, I say quietly. Brandon, get out of this room. Sleep in our bed. Enjoy it while you can. Because by the end of the month, you won't be living here anymore, and Emma will know exactly why. Amanda leaves, closes the door behind her. I hear her crying in the hallway, hear her go downstairs, hear the front door open and close, probably going outside to call someone, Tyler maybe, or Kevin, or whoever the father of her baby actually is. I sit back down on the bed and keep reading legal documents until 3 a.m. Tuesday morning, I meet with Linda Harris at her office downtown. 6th floor, corner office, walls covered in law degrees and professional awards. She's 50-something, gray hair, no-nonsense expression. She pours me coffee without asking if I want any. I reviewed everything your investigator sent over, Linda says, settling behind her desk. The phone records, the messages, the photos, the timeline. Mr. Davis, I need you to understand something. This isn't just an affair. This is a pattern of behavior that demonstrates instability and poor judgment. Can we use that in court? Absolutely. She opens a folder. Here's what we're going to argue. 1. Your wife engaged in multiple extramarital affairs over an 8-month period. 2. She exposed you to potential STDs without your knowledge or consent. 3. She became pregnant as a result of these affairs and cannot identify the biological father. 4. She administered sleep medication to your minor child without medical necessity in order to facilitate her affairs. And 5. She expressed resentment toward motherhood and her child in documented communications. Linda slides the folder across the desk. With this evidence, we can petition for primary custody with supervised visitation. Your wife will have minimal parenting time until she completes a psychological evaluation and potentially therapy. We can also request she pay child support. Her salary is comparable to yours, and given her behavior, a judge may order her to contribute financially while having reduced parenting time. What about the house? Joint asset, but given the custody arrangement, you'll likely retain primary residence. She'll have to find her own place. Linda leans back. Mr. Davis, in 20 years of family law, I've never seen a custody case this clear-cut. She won't get weekends. She'll be lucky to get supervised visits. That should feel like victory. It feels like grief. When can we file? I ask. I can have the papers ready by Friday. We'll file next Monday. Linda closes the folder. One more thing. I need you to prepare yourself for the possibility that your wife will fight back. Not legally. She doesn't have a leg to stand on legally, but emotionally. She'll try to manipulate you. She'll make promises. She'll cry. She'll blame you. She'll say you're taking her daughter away. You need to be ready for that. I'm ready, I say, but I'm not sure if that's true. That night, I meet Rachel at the same coffee shop. Same table. But this time, there's no pretense of normalcy. We're two people whose lives are imploding, trying to figure out how to breathe through the wreckage. Tyler moved out yesterday, Rachel says. Took his clothes and some furniture and his tools, left everything else. The kids keep asking when Daddy's coming home. I don't know what to tell them. What did you tell them? I said Daddy and Mommy need some space right now. Sophie asked if it was her fault. She's 7 years old, and she thinks her parents' marriage fell apart because of something she did. Rachel's eyes fill with tears. How do I explain to a 7-year-old that her father threw away our family for someone else's wife? Here's the question I want you to think about. When someone betrays you this deeply, do you owe them forgiveness? Or is protecting yourself and your child the highest form of self-respect? There's no wrong answer, but it's a question I've been asking myself every day since this started. You don't explain it, I say. Not yet. You protect her. You keep her world as stable as possible. And when she's older, when she can understand, you tell her the truth. But right now, she doesn't need to know the details. She just needs to know you're not going anywhere. Rachel nods, wipes her eyes. I keep thinking about all the signs I missed, or didn't miss. I wrote them down in my journal, but I didn't do anything about them. I just kept hoping I was wrong. I did the same thing, I admit. Hired a PI 6 weeks ago. Had proof for 6 weeks. But I kept waiting, kept collecting more evidence, kept hoping that maybe I was overreacting, that maybe there was an explanation. There isn't an explanation, though, Rachel says. There's just betrayal and lies, and people who promised forever and then decided forever was too long. We sit in silence for a moment. Two old friends who've known each other for 15 years, who've seen each other through college and careers and marriages and now divorces. We don't leave, that's what we always said, and here we are, not leaving, staying, figuring it out together. I got Tyler's DNA results, I say. Want to know what they say? Rachel looks at me. Do I? 0%. The baby isn't Tyler's, isn't mine. Amanda's carrying a baby she can't name the father of because she's been with so many men she literally doesn't know. Rachel stares at me. Then she starts laughing again. That same broken, absurd laughter from Sunday. Oh my God, Brandon, both our spouses destroyed our families for a baby that belongs to neither of them. You can't make this up. You literally cannot make this up. The investigator thinks there's at least 4 different men, I continue. Maybe more. She had a whole system. Separate phone, separate message threads, scheduled them so they'd never overlap. Tyler on Tuesdays and Fridays, Kevin on weekends, Andrew Chen on weekday lunches. And a 4th guy, whoever got her pregnant, she won't even save his name in her phone. Rachel puts her head in her hands. I married a man who slept with a woman who was sleeping with his brother, and God knows who else. That's my life. That's what 15 years of marriage got me. We'll get through this, I say. Don't know if I believe it, but I say it anyway. Will we? Rachel looks up, because right now it feels like everything we built, both of us, was just built on sand. And the tide came in and washed it all away, and we're left standing here with nothing. We have each other, I say. We have Emma and Sophie and Noah. We have the truth. That's not nothing. Rachel's silent for a long moment. Then, you're right. It's not nothing. She reaches across the table, takes my hand. We don't leave. No matter what happens next, we don't leave. We don't leave, I echo, and I mean it. Whatever comes next, divorce, custody battles, public humiliation, starting over, we'll do it together. Because that's what real family does. They stay, even when the people who promised forever walk away. Tyler Wilson's DNA results arrive on Thursday morning. I'm at work when Linda Harris calls. Mr. Davis, I just received the second paternity test results from the lab, she says. Are you sitting down? What do they say? Tyler Wilson is excluded as the biological father. 0.0% probability. She pauses. Mr. Davis, this changes everything. Your wife is carrying a child she cannot identify the father of. In all my years practicing family law, I've never seen anything quite like this. This isn't just infidelity. This is a complete inability to identify paternity because of the sheer number of partners involved. I close my office door, sit down, process this. Not mine, not Tyler's, someone else entirely. Blood doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. Amanda's been with so many men during the same time frame that she genuinely doesn't know whose baby she's carrying. What do we do with this information? I ask. We use it, Linda says. I'm amending our custody petition to include both DNA test results. We're going to argue that your wife's behavior demonstrates such profoundly poor judgment that she poses a risk to your daughter's well-being. No judge will grant her anything more than supervised visitation after seeing this evidence. When do we tell her? I recommend a formal confrontation. Your wife, Tyler Wilson, yourself, and ideally his wife, Rachel. We lay out all the evidence at once, both DNA tests, the phone records, the messages, everything. We give her one chance to sign the custody agreement voluntarily, or we go to court and make everything public record. She'll never sign voluntarily, I say. Then we go to court, Linda says, and we destroy her. I call Rachel that afternoon, tell her about Tyler's test results. There's a long silence on her end. So the baby isn't his, she finally says. No, it's someone else's. Someone Amanda apparently won't even name. How many men, Brandon? How many men was she with that she can't narrow it down? At least 4, maybe more. The investigator is still trying to trace some of the burner numbers. Rachel laughs that broken laugh again. My husband threw away 15 years of marriage and 2 children for a woman who was sleeping with his brother and at least 2 other men simultaneously. And now there's a baby that belongs to none of them. Her voice drops. I want to be there when you tell them, when you lay out all the evidence. I want to see their faces when they realize how stupid they've been. You sure? I'm sure. They destroyed our families, Brandon. They get to watch us put the pieces back together, and they get to know they're not invited to the new version. We schedule the confrontation for Saturday afternoon at Linda's office. Neutral territory, witnesses, legal representation present, everything documented. I tell Amanda on Friday night. She's in the kitchen making dinner, chicken stir fry, one of Emma's favorites, playing house like everything's normal. We need to talk tomorrow, I say. You, me, Tyler, Rachel, and my lawyer. 2 p.m. at Linda Harris's office downtown. Amanda's hand freezes on the spatula. Why? Because we got Tyler's DNA results, and we need to discuss what happens next. What do they say? You'll find out tomorrow. Tyler will be there too. So will Rachel. So will all the evidence I've collected over the last 2 months. Every photo, every message, every hotel receipt, every lie. I lean against the counter. This is your chance to be honest, Amanda, to come clean about everything, to sign the custody agreement and avoid going to court. Because if we go to court, everything becomes public record. Every message you sent, every affair you had, every person you've been with, your employer will know, your family will know, our friends will know, everyone will know. Amanda's face has gone pale. Brandon, please. 2 p.m. tomorrow, Linda's office. Don't be late. I walk away. She doesn't follow. Saturday afternoon, I arrive at Linda's office at 1:45. Rachel's already there, sitting in the waiting area. She's wearing jeans and a blazer, hair pulled back, face set in an expression I've never seen before, determined, furious, ready for war. You okay? I ask. No, Rachel says, but I'm here, and that's something. Tyler arrives at 1:55. He walks in and sees Rachel and immediately stops. Rach, what are you doing here? I was invited, Rachel says coldly. Sit down, Tyler. Amanda arrives at 2 p.m. exactly. She's wearing a dress, heels, makeup carefully applied, playing the part of the wronged wife. She sees all of us, me, Tyler, Rachel, and her face goes white. What is this? She asks. This is the truth, I say. Come inside. Linda's conference room is set up like a deposition. Table in the center, chairs on both sides, large screen on the wall for presenting evidence. Linda sits at the head of the table, legal pad and pen ready. Her assistant is there too, officially present as a witness. Amanda and Tyler sit on one side. Rachel and I sit on the other. Linda stands and begins. We're here today to discuss the results of 2 paternity tests and to present evidence collected over the last 8 weeks regarding Amanda Davis's conduct during her marriage. She clicks a remote. The screen lights up with a document. This is the first DNA test result. Brandon Davis was tested for paternity of Amanda Davis's unborn child. Result, 0.0% probability. Brandon Davis is excluded as the biological father. Amanda stares at the screen. Tyler's looking at her. She won't meet his eyes. Linda clicks again. Another document appears. This is the second DNA test result. Tyler Wilson was tested for paternity of the same unborn child. Result, 0.0% probability. Tyler Wilson is also excluded as the biological father. Tyler's head snaps toward Amanda. What? The baby isn't yours, I say. Keep my voice level, clinical, like we're discussing a business deal. It's not mine, it's not yours, it's someone else's. Tyler stands up, grabs the paper from the table, reads it 3 times, then he looks at Amanda, and his face does something I've never seen before. Complete betrayal, complete rage. Who? Tyler demands. Whose baby is this, Amanda? Amanda's shaking her head. It has to be yours. It has to be 0%, Amanda, 0. Tyler slams the paper down on the table. I asked you if there was anyone else. You said no. You said I was the only one. You said... His voice breaks. You said you loved me. I do. Don't. Tyler backs away from the table. Don't you dare say you love me. You don't even know whose baby you're carrying. How many men, Amanda? How many? Linda clicks the remote again. The screen fills with screenshots from Amanda's phone. Messages to Tyler, to Kevin, to Andrew Chen, to the unknown 4th number. Dates and times displayed clearly. Over the last 8 months, Linda says, Amanda Davis maintained simultaneous sexual relationships with at least 4 different men. Tyler Wilson, Kevin Wilson, Tyler's younger brother, Andrew Chen, and a 4th individual whose identity we have not yet confirmed. Rachel stands up slowly, walks to Tyler's side of the table, looks down at Amanda. You slept with his brother, Rachel says quietly. Kevin, Tyler's little brother, while you were sleeping with Tyler, while you were sleeping with your husband, while you were sleeping with God knows who else. Rachel, Amanda starts. No. Rachel's voice is shaking. You don't get to explain this away. You don't get to make this okay. You destroyed 2 marriages. You destroyed Tyler's relationship with his brother. You destroyed my children's family. And for what? For this. She gestures to the DNA results. A baby you can't even name the father of. Amanda's crying now. Full sobs. I don't know how it got this far. I don't know how many men, I ask. Same question Tyler asked, but I already know the answer won't be complete. I can't or won't. I lean forward because I have your phone records, Amanda. I have the messages. I have the hotel receipts. I have the credit card statements. I have photos. I have a complete timeline of every single person you've been with over the last 8 months. So I'll ask you one more time. How many men? Amanda puts her face in her hands. Her whole body is shaking. Linda clicks the remote again. More evidence appears. Mr. Wilson, you should also know that during the same period your wife was engaged in her affairs, she was messaging your brother Kevin. Here's a message from August 3rd. Linda reads from the screen. Does Tyler know? Kevin asks. Amanda responds, Of course not. He thinks he's the only one. Tyler sits back down, hard, like someone punched him in the chest. My brother, he says, looks at Amanda. My brother knew about me, which means you told him, which means you were coordinating this. You were managing us, scheduling us, making sure we didn't overlap. Kevin called me last week, Tyler continues. His voice is eerily calm now. Said he needed to tell me something. I told him I was too busy dealing with my divorce. He said it could wait. Tyler's hands are clenched into fists on the table. It wasn't about waiting. He was trying to figure out how to tell me he'd been sleeping with the same woman I'd been sleeping with, his brother's mistress. Jesus Christ, Amanda. Linda clicks again. Another document. This is a letter we received 2 days ago from Kevin Wilson. It was delivered via his attorney. Would you like me to read it aloud? Yes, Rachel says. Linda picks up a printed copy. The letter is 3 pages handwritten. She begins to read. To whom it may concern, my name is Kevin Wilson. I'm writing this letter because I can no longer live with what I've done. In July of this year, I began a sexual relationship with Amanda Davis. I knew she was married. I knew she was my brother's friend's wife. I didn't know she was also sleeping with my brother Tyler until 2 weeks ago. Tyler closes his eyes. Linda continues. Amanda told me her marriage was over. She said her husband didn't understand her. She said she was planning to leave him. I believed her. I thought I was helping her escape an unhappy situation. I thought what we had meant something. Amanda's still crying, not looking at anyone. In September, Amanda told me she'd been exposed to an STD by another partner. She asked me to get tested. I did. The results came back positive for chlamydia. I'd been faithful to my girlfriend for 3 years prior to Amanda. The infection came from Amanda. When I confronted her, she laughed. She said I was being paranoid. She said it was probably a false positive. Rachel gasps, looks at me. I nod. She already knew, I'd told her earlier, but hearing it read aloud makes it real. I ended things with Amanda in October. A few weeks ago, my brother Tyler called me drunk at 2 a.m. He told me he was having an affair with Brandon Davis's wife. He told me she was pregnant and he thought it was his. He asked me what he should do. I realized then that we'd both been sleeping with the same woman. I told Tyler he needed to get tested for paternity and for STDs. I don't know if he listened. Tyler's staring at the table. His jaw is clenched so tight I can see the muscles jumping. Linda reads the final paragraph. I'm writing this letter because Amanda Davis is not who she presents herself to be. She's manipulative. She's a pathological liar. And she infected me with a disease she got from God knows how many other partners. I've been in therapy since I found out about Tyler. I'm on medication for depression. I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust anyone again. I hope this letter helps someone. I hope someone reads this and protects themselves before Amanda destroys them too. Signed, Kevin Wilson. The conference room is silent. Complete silence. Then Tyler speaks. His voice is so quiet I almost don't hear him. You gave me an STD. Amanda doesn't answer. Answer me. Tyler's standing again, shouting now. Did you give me an STD? Did you expose my wife? Did you expose my children? My kids? Amanda? Did you bring that into my house? I got treated, Amanda whispers. I got treated and I tested clean You tested clean in August, I interrupt, which means you exposed me for months before that, which means you exposed Tyler, which means you exposed Rachel, which means you exposed everyone you've been with to whatever you picked up from whoever you were with before them. I stand up. You're not just a cheater, Amanda. You're a public health hazard. She collapsed. And you know what? I didn't feel sorry. Not even a little. If you've ever watched someone face the consequences of their own choices and felt that strange mix of satisfaction and sadness, this is what that looks like. This is what accountability looks like. Amanda's face crumples. She stands up, staggers, sits back down hard in her chair. Her whole body is shaking. I don't know, she says, voice breaking. I don't know whose baby this is. I don't know how many. She stops, looks around the room at all of us staring at her. I don't know, okay? I don't know. Tyler backs toward the door. You're done, he says. You're done in this town, you understand me? Everyone will know. Everyone will know what you did, what you are. Tyler, please. No. He looks at Rachel. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Rach. I thought it meant something. I thought she... He can't finish, just shakes his head and walks out. Rachel doesn't follow him, just sits there watching Amanda fall apart. Linda slides a document across the table to Amanda. This is a custody agreement. Brandon Davis will retain primary physical and legal custody of Emma. You will have supervised visitation twice a month, pending completion of a psychological evaluation. You will pay child support. You will not contest the divorce. In exchange, we will not make these DNA results and phone records public in court proceedings. You can't take my daughter, Amanda says. We already have, Linda replies. Sign the agreement or we go to court and everything we discussed today becomes public record. Your choice. Amanda stares at the document. Then she picks up the pen with shaking hands and signs it. Blood doesn't lie. That's what Frank told me. And neither do signatures on legal documents. 3 weeks later, Amanda's fired from her job. Turns out sleeping with multiple partners, including coworkers, clients, and vendors, while serving as HR manager is a terminable offense. Company policy, ethics violations, conflict of interest. Her boss called me personally to apologize, said he had no idea what was going on, said the company takes these matters seriously. Amanda's gone. Box of personal items, escorted out by security. Her LinkedIn profile disappears within hours. Tyler's construction business takes a hit too. 3 of his biggest clients withdraw their contracts when word spreads about the affair with his brother's involvement. Small town, people talk, nobody wants the drama. Tyler's father, who owns 40% of the company, forces him to take a 6-month leave of absence. To get your head straight, he says, but everyone knows what it really means. You embarrass the family. Rachel files for divorce 2 days after the confrontation, cites adultery, emotional cruelty, abandonment of family. She's granted temporary full custody of Sophie and Noah. Tyler gets supervised visits on weekends. He moved into a 1-bedroom apartment on the east side, closer to his parents, further from his kids. The baby's actual father turned out to be a traveling salesman from Iowa named Derek Patterson. He sold medical equipment to Amanda's company, was in town for a week in July, met Amanda at a hotel bar. One thing led to another. He's married, has 3 kids of his own, wants nothing to do with Amanda or her baby. Frank Martinez tracked him down through credit card receipts and hotel surveillance footage. Derek's lawyer sent a cease and desist letter within 48 hours of being contacted. Will not acknowledge paternity, will not pay child support, will not participate in the child's life in any capacity. Amanda's on her own. She moved in with her mother in a different city 2 hours away. Her mother called me once, tried to defend her daughter, said Amanda was struggling, said Amanda made mistakes, but she's still a good person. Said I was being cruel, taking Emma away. I sent her copies of the DNA tests, copies of the phone records, copies of Kevin's letter. She didn't call back. The custody hearing is next month. Linda says it's a formality. Amanda signed the agreement. She's completed 1 session of the required psychological evaluation. The therapist's notes indicated significant issues with impulse control, difficulty accepting responsibility for actions and patterns consistent with narcissistic personality traits. Emma asks about her mother sometimes. I tell her Mommy's taking some time to work on herself. Emma nods, seems to accept this. She's resilient. Kids are resilient. But she also told me last week that she's happy we don't fight anymore, that our house is quieter now, that she likes it when Rachel and her kids come over for dinner, which they do. Twice a week, sometimes more. Rachel and I aren't together, nothing like that. We're just 2 people who survived the same wreckage, helping each other rebuild. She brings Sophie and Noah over. We make dinner, the kids play, we sit on the back deck and talk about custody schedules and therapy appointments and how to explain divorce to children who shouldn't have to understand betrayal yet. We don't leave, Rachel said last week. We were watching the kids play in the backyard. Emma and Sophie were pushing Noah on the swing. That's what we always said in college. And look at us, still here, still not leaving. Still not leaving, I agreed. And that's the truth. When everything falls apart, when the people you thought you'd spend your life with walk away, you find out who stays. You find out what family really means. It's not blood. Blood doesn't guarantee loyalty. Blood just guarantees genetics. Family is the people who show up, who stay, who don't leave when things get hard. 6 months later, Emma turns 7. We have a birthday party at the house. Nothing big, just Emma, Sophie, Noah, Rachel, and me. Emma wanted a rainbow cake, so we made one. 4 layers, all different colors. Took us 3 hours, and the kitchen looked like a unicorn exploded, but Emma loved it. We're sitting around the dining table, the same table where Amanda confessed her pregnancy 6 months ago, the same table where I told her we needed a DNA test and Emma's opening presents. Sophie got her a set of colored pencils. Noah made her a card with crayon drawings of stick figures. Rachel got her a new bike. "Who are all these people?" I ask, pointing to Noah's drawing. "That's Emma," Noah says, pointing to the tallest stick figure. "And that's Sophie, and that's me, and that's you, Mr. Brandon, and that's Mommy." 5 stick figures, all holding hands, all smiling. "That's beautiful, Noah," I say. Emma holds up her own drawing. She'd been working on it during lunch, sitting at the kitchen table with her new colored pencils. "This is our family now, Daddy." 4 stick figures, me, her, Rachel, Sophie, and Noah, carefully drawn. Everyone has different color hair, brown for me, blonde for Emma, dark brown for Rachel, red for Sophie, black for Noah. Everyone's holding hands. There's a sun in the corner and a house with a rainbow roof. No Amanda. I look at the drawing for a long moment, then at Emma. "This is beautiful, sweetie. Is this how you see our family?" Emma nods. "Miss Patterson at school said family is people who love you, not just people with same blood." She looks at Rachel. "Rachel loves us. Sophie and Noah love us, so they're family too, right?" Rachel's eyes fill with tears. The good kind this time. "Right," I say, voice a little rough. "That's exactly right, Em." "Do you miss Mommy?" Emma asks. It's the first time she's brought up Amanda in weeks. I think about how to answer, how to be honest without being cruel, how to tell the truth in a way a 7-year-old can understand. "I miss who I thought she was," I say carefully. "But this," I gesture to the table, to the kids, to Rachel, to the rainbow cake and the stick figure drawings. "This is my real family, the ones who stay." Emma thinks about this, nods. "We don't leave, right, Daddy? That's what you always say." My throat gets tight. She heard me say that to Rachel weeks ago. Didn't think she was paying attention. "That's right, baby," I manage. "We don't leave." Emma smiles, looks at Rachel. "We don't leave." Rachel wipes her eyes, smiles back. "We don't leave." And we don't. We light the candles on the rainbow cake, sing happy birthday slightly off key, watch Emma blow out 7 candles and make a wish she won't tell us about, cut the cake into messy pieces, eat with our hands when the frosting gets everywhere, laugh when Noah gets rainbow frosting in his hair. This is victory. Not the DNA tests or the custody agreement or Amanda's firing, not even the divorce being finalized next month. This moment, these people, this family we didn't plan but built anyway from the wreckage of what we lost. Blood doesn't lie. It told us the truth we needed to know. It revealed the deception we couldn't see. It gave us the evidence we required to protect our children and ourselves. But family isn't about blood at all. Family is the people who stay. The ones who don't leave when everything falls apart. The ones who show up with rainbow cakes and stick figure drawings and say, "We don't leave," and mean it. Rachel said it in college. I repeated it through the worst months of my life. Emma learned it by watching us. And now it's not just a phrase anymore. It's not just something we say to make ourselves feel better. It's the truth we live by. It's who we are. We don't leave. And we never will. If you found your real family, the ones who stayed when they didn't have to, the friends who became family, the people who chose you even when biology didn't bind you, I want to hear your story. Because that's what matters. Not the DNA, not the test results, not the blood, the loyalty, the choice, the staying. That's what family really means.